Hey everybody, Jay Reno here. Welcome back. It's Metroid Prime. We're making real good progress, and I think today we're going to be really cleaning up. We're going to be collecting so many things, so many missile expansions, so many power bomb expansions. It's going to be great. So strap in. So we're currently in the... Oh, they didn't even know I was here. Poor guys. So we're in the middle of the Phendrana research base of the Space Pirates. We just got an artifact that was in the control tower. There was really no other way, unfortunately, for us to proceed in order to get that, so... Oh gosh. Robots. Robots. Whoa! Don't crash. Yeah. I wish I could just run by those, but unfortunately, no dice. It's weird how we destroyed that there was a missile expansion in it, but now it's covered up again. Space Pirates making the necessary repairs, I guess. How about we can just hop down and run by. Again, at this point, we just have to get through the pirate base. There's nothing for us to gain by stopping at this point. We just want to get out towards sort of the front of Phendrana. There we go. Really, same thing here. There's no reason to stop. We just want to get back to the very front of Phendrana, which is where we're at now. Okay, so in this room there is one upgrade to get. A lot of these rooms now have Mama Sheegoths in them. So, the thing is, we have the plasma beam, so we can actually kill Mama Sheegoths very fast. If you recall, it took like 15 or 20 missiles. It's not going to take 15 or 20 missiles anymore. We'll stop and kill one later, but right now we can just leave. These things caused me some problems earlier. Not anymore. They just evaporate. Thank you, Plasma Beam. So we're back on the main Phendrana Plaza, for lack of a better term. I hate that they do that little juke. It's really irritating. Those used to take missiles to kill. Okay, so let's kill the Mama Sheegoth, just so you can see. And it's dead already. It's just that easy. So there are actually two missiles to pick up in this room. One is very sneaky and hidden, and I honestly sometimes struggle to remember where it even is. And then one is behind ice. So I think it's actually right here. Oh, yeah. Real sneaky spider ball. So see, a lot of these, like with the spider ball, we could have stopped in here and gotten this after we killed Thardus. But again, in terms of, keeping the route, avoiding too much backtracking, that's why I did things this way. Okay, and then the next pickup is behind some ice, which you need the plasma beam for. Just like that. Okay, and let's head back. We're going to go back to the main plaza, and there's one more path to take with another artifact, and then we can item collect in the main Phendrana Shorelines area before continuing our backtrack through Magmoor Caverns. We actually haven't been through the Phendrana Magmoor pathway for quite some time. I don't have to stop and kill those, but it's really satisfying too. That's all I'll say about that. We could have gotten this a lot earlier too, because super missiles. But keep in mind, after we got the super missiles and after we got the spider ball, we didn't actually backtrack to this Phendrana shoreline area. We continued forward and then backtracked through to Talon Overworld instead. So this room's kind of weird. They're actually invisible enemies, I think. Or actually, no, I don't think they're invisible. I think they're just above us. There are invisible bamboos, or whatever they're called, later on. But this is another thing where you need the plasma beam if you want to get the item here, which simply just requires to melt that ice. How many is that now? I think that's 5? 5 of 12? Again, a bunch of them are in the Phazon mines that we haven't collected yet either, so that's no problem. And now I just have to backtrack out of here. There's no way to circle your way through this specific room. You just gotta walk in and walk back out. Okay, and there's one final upgrade in this room. Also, another Sheegoth to kill. You know your boy's got to take advantage of that. It's in one of these big pillars. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this ice just very slowly melts. I don't know why it doesn't... I don't know. Some of them shatter, some of them melt. It's a little weird considering, again, you have to come back with the plasma beam no matter what. So the fact that they don't interact the same with the plasma beam, I don't know. Maybe just two different people worked on it. I was going to say it's confusing to the player, but not really. If you scanned them, it would just say that it needs to be melted. Alright, this is taking us back to Magmor. So we're going to get the 2 artifacts that are in Magmor, and the remaining several items, not too many, and then that's it for Magmor. We'll have collected every single thing possible there as well. So we want to head back to that central geothermal station. That's got to be the first place we go. And look, we're here already. So let's just not fall, please, Jay Barino. Don't fall. Cool. Collapsible suspension bridge. So actually, let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I have scanned a spinner. Okay. I'll be checking all my research here near the end of the game to ensure we've got everything. Very nice. So we actually could have gotten this much earlier. You'll remember that we backtracked through this area after we had the boost ball, and I said, hey, there's an artifact we could get here right now. But what's the point, considering in the exact same room that we're going to get the artifact, we needed a power bomb to get something else also. That's half. Didn't mean to do that. You gotta spend power bombs to make power bombs. How the heck do we get out of here? There we go. And this is gonna dump us out right by the hallway. I call this the Meridia hallway because it's a Super Metroid type thing. You gotta power bomb the glass, it breaks the tunnel. And there's the ice spreader, which is our missile beam combo for the ice beam. The Ghostbuster Wave Buster is the most. That and super missiles are the two most useful, with the least useful coming in with least useful definitely being both the ice spreader and then the missile combo for the plasma beam, which we'll get later. It's just, I think the issue is you get the missile combo for the plasma beam so much later in the game that you just don't need it anymore, and that's kind of a bummer. So we're working our way backwards through Magmore. We've actually never gone through Magmore going this direction before. But again, it's mostly for cleanup purposes. This is where you're going to want to use the X-ray. This is one where you can actually see where the power-up is without the X-ray, or at least you can hear it. So you have a general sense of where it is, and that's where, like, if you know something's around, that's where you just start using the X-ray visor and hope that you find what you're looking for. That's the only reason I think any person would even think. The artifacts at least give you little hints based on scans, whereas like that missile expansion right there is, I think, one of the most obscure missile expansions in the whole game. But we've got it. It's not forgotten. And I also like coming this way because it allows us to use the grapple beam as a bit of a quality of life to traverse the areas. Like, they clearly intended you to come back through here at some point after having the grapple beam. I do believe... Yeah, look at that. This is another one where it's very obscure, so it's kind of like you really needed to have scanned for the hint to know where the heck this one would have ever been. Meanwhile, we're getting blasted by a fire dragon. Okay, 5 left. Oh gosh, which way's the way out? This way. So as we continue this trek, we're actually making our way back to Chozo Ruins for our final cleanup of Chozo. So Phendrana, 100% done. Magmore, 100% done. We're going to head to Chozo and do that as well, and then that's going to leave Phazon Mines as like our last major area. Which is fitting because Phazon Mines, I feel like, is definitely the climax of the game in general. The long waiting game of these platforms, though, is not the most thrilling emergent gameplay. Just don't fall, Jayberino. Lovely. And just like that, we've collected so many missile expansions in Phendrana and here that we're already pushing about 200 missiles. Again, like I had said, we're going to be just blasting through percentages here very, very quickly. All right, so we want to go this way. We're going to collect an artifact. We never actually came through here. I mean, we came through here once, technically. After we beat Flagra, we actually fell down this big room. But the only way to get back up here is with a spider ball track. So basically, there's a Chozo artifact in Flagra's room. But the only way you can get back to Flagra's room is through here. If you try to go back through the way you initially went to get to Flagra in the first place, it's blocked, and there's no way that you can go. It's permanently blocked until you specifically go through this pathway and get the artifact. And all you really need is the spider ball. I mean, you need super missiles, but if you have the spider ball, that means unless you've sequence broken something, you would have had the secret missiles, not the secret missiles, the super missiles as well. So this artifact can actually be gotten very early, as possibly the first in the game. But I like to come back for this one after we've got the X-ray visor, for obvious reasons. And when they drop, they have some iframes, so we want them to be like actually active before we start blasting them. Kill him! What's going on here? Did I bug one of them out? I've never seen this before. Okay, he died. Some sort of failsafe kicked off and he just died. Thank heavens for super missiles counting as power beam damage. Again, your other beams don't work on these things, so it's not you can't just blast them with the plasma beam. All right, there we go. So that's 8. I told you we're going to be collecting these at a pretty quick rate. This is another one where I think I'm going to have to check my map to know which way I want to leave this room. And we want to turn around. So this is the way we originally went into the Flogger room, which was close to us up until now. Again, this would have all been technically locked off to the player, because they didn't want you going back through the exact same way, because they don't want you to be able to get the artifact that easily. Alright, no. If they don't lock the doors, we're just gonna run by them. Not gonna mess around with that. So there's this whole area of Chozo here that we were never able to go and check out. But we can now, because we've got all the required tools to do so. Power bombs. Gotta spend them to make them. The power of our temple and the 12 artifacts has sealed an evil in the depths of this planet. However, the future is cloudy to us, a world of veils where dark apparitions flit in the shadows. Within this strange world, one image stands out in the mist, flickering through the landscape wraith-like. It is a human, a lone figure shining in the toxic shadows. We Chozo do not know what it is, but our hearts swell with the hope and the promise of that glowing light. We will place our faith in our shrine. We will be there when the light shines upon our land. Yeah, but you're hostile ghosts to me. That's bad news. There's actually a little thing hidden here too. Another one, another very obscure pickup that's very easily missed if you're not careful. I think there are only 2 in here. That's not too bad. Whoa, where'd that other one go? The other reason why these things are annoying, not just because they're invisible, but because when they hit you, if they do damage to you, it stuns you, and you can move, but you can't shoot, which, in terms of Metroid Prime, when Metroid Prime combat is one of the worst things. Just like, you can move around, but you can't actually fire upon anything. It can be very irritating. All right. Again, lining this up with the mouse and keyboard can be... There we go. It all worked out. Very similar to the hall of the room before the Hall of the Elders. Is this something to scan here? No. Cool. So that's our next energy tank. We're making progress. Hop up here. Now my next stop is going to be... Remember that room where we got the Wave Buster? We're going to go back there. And again, I did go out of my way. You know, I wasted a trip there to get the Wave Buster. And if you really want to save time, there's absolutely no need to get the Wave Buster when I did. Okay, and now we can finally get this missile. This missile expansion you can see from the very beginning of the game. And it just sits up there and taunts you. But now it's ours. I think there are ghosts in here, too. I am going to kill these ghosts. Because I need to spider ball around this room. Oh, did I mess them up again? No. Okay, we're good. Yeah, because I really don't want them shooting me off the spider ball track after I already make it up there. Because you have to use the boost ball and all this shit. Where's he at? The other big downside is those things respawn, too. So if we kill them, which we did, and we were to leave this room and then come back, they'd just be back here again, I'm pretty sure. So that can be irritating. And just the sheer amount of firepower needed to take them down is crazy. If you don't use super missiles, I don't know, that would take like 4 or 5 or more charged shots. It would take a really long time. But again, this is why I specifically routed myself to have the X-ray visor before coming back and doing all this. You need the anti-grav suit in order to get this one. Alright, that's 9. Okay, and now with that, we're going to make our way back to... Where are we going to make our way back to? We're going to make our way back to, like, the inner part of Chozo Ruins, like near the Hall of the Elders. If you remember, there's the room where there were different morph ball slots that opened up. See, there they are. There were different morph ball slots that opened up based on having one of each of the beams. And at the time, we had only had the wave beam, but now we've got the other 2 beams. So we're going to go back there, and we can get those pickups. Here, we'll kill this guy for old time's sake. What a thrill. Still need missiles to kill those. If we wanted to stock up on all our collectibles, consumables rather, we could just kill these scarabs, but no need. I really hope I'm doing good on scans at this point. If I wasn't, I'd be really sad. Again, I don't think I've missed anything, but to have, to get this far, it would be just a real big bummer. Because I think this playthrough's gone really well. Nothing's really tripped me up. No deaths. I didn't get turned around anywhere. Just a nice, clean path through the game. And that's how I like it. So I'm going to head back to where we got the charge beam. Another very easily missable pickup, because you can't really hear it. Again, hearing that whirring sound is one of the best indicators, but there's just no way you would know this was here, unless you were being extremely diligent looking for everything. I wish lighting these things on fire actually killed them, but there's still no way to permanently kill them. Alright, so this has been here the whole time. We didn't have morph ball bombs when we came in here the first time. But it's so close to the morph ball bombs that you might come in here and think like, oh, I remember that was there. Let's go back and see what's behind there. So So you come here, and sure, you can get this missile pickup. Great. And then you realize that there's another thing that requires the spider ball, so that's fun. Oh, I just want to kill this thing. I don't want it knocking me off the spider ball track. All right, and down we go. So now, again, we're going to continue our pathway back through the furnace area to get a couple upgrades, and basically this is all going to take us back to the Hall of the Elders, the room with the three morph ball slots. That's what... Oh, I'm stuck. That's what that is. Once again, I think we're missing music. I just don't understand. Just don't understand. I'm not sure if there's a faster way to traverse this room. I think at the very least we can skip going through the morph ball tunnel. Hello, music. It'll restart eventually. New music triggers once you get into the latter half of Chozo Ruins, like near the furnace, so. They'll start soon. Cool. Game's like, hey, I heard you wanted some more music. Thanks. At least a lot of these rooms only have 2 of them. And again, with the X-ray visor and knowing to just you use a super missile and then a charge shot, that's it. That's all you gotta do. It's just that easy. Okay, so unfortunately, this might take me a couple tries because it does require some very particular morph ball movement. And again, I am on mouse and keyboard, so that could really cause this to end up taking a while. We'll see. I guess I should just kill these things. So that if I fall, I don't have to do it again. There we go. You can use your shadow to kind of tell. You don't want to go too far or you'll fall off. This right here, you have to fall like right on the edge here. There we go. Let's just make a run for it. Took a risk with the spring ball, but it paid off. There we go. We don't have to come back up here. Very nice. Also a nice thing is because we have the ice beam now, we can use the cut through to take us right back over here into the Hall of the Elders, where there are more Chozo ghosts. Give it a rest. Again, this is why you don't come through here until you have the X-ray visor, because it is just such a pain. They're everywhere. And I think these all start appearing once you enter the Hall of the Elders for the first time, which is when you come to get the Ice Beam. So once you do that, just try to avoid this entire zone where possible, because what a pain in the butt. This pathway right here is another shortcut back. We don't need to use it, but just for the sake of completionism, I will, because I think I've revealed basically every single pathway, or every single room on the map. There's nothing that tracks that, but I'm fairly certain that I would have explored every single room by the end of this one. And that, I think, is the only room, like that hallway there, that I have to enter just to reveal it. I remember the first time I played this, I had played Super Metroid when I was even younger, and so when you turn into a morph ball, you expect this thing to either give you an item and or turn hostile. Because that's just what happens in Super Metroid, is they typically... they usually open new paths, but some of them just come alive and then attack you. Alright, so we have all but one energy tank, and we will get that energy tank pretty much right at the end of the Phase and Mines. So it all kind of works out, all kind of comes together. And I even kind of plan the route out so that that would be the last energy tank that we get, because it feels very fitting to be. There we go. That's 10. And the last 2 are in the Phase and Mines. We have officially cleared out the entirety of Chozo Ruins. You know, there was a time when I thought, I wonder if I could make a path through here where it made sense to get the artifacts in the order in which they're labeled. But the more I looked into it, the more... that just really does not work. It really does not. So here's our opportunity to use the final elevator that we actually have not. There's one elevator we haven't used, and that's the one from Chozo Ruins to Talon Overworld that leads back to the other side of the crashed frigate. Because keep in mind, again, this only became available to me after we went through the crashed frigate going from the other way, because there was a gate that we can only open from that side. But now this is the perfect cut-through, because this will dump us out right near the Phase and Mines elevator in Talon Overworld. There are only 2 ways into Phase and Mines. It's Talon Overworld after the crashed frigate, which is right here. Might as well be connected to Chozo Ruins at that rate. And then Magmore Caverns, which we needed power bombs to open up. Alright, and right back into the thick of it, into Phase and Mines. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup in Phase and Mines to end out this episode. Don't speak to me about scan data. Hint system. And there really aren't that many items left to get. We have the missile combo with our plasma beam. Unique phase and readings analyzed. 2 artifacts. That's right, we're going deep into the Phase and Mines. We're going deep. So let's clear this out, and I'm going to use the same shortcut using the... Wow, that guy got roasted in midair. I'm going to use the same shortcut using the crane. We could go, actually, I mean, we can go one of 2 ways. I feel the crane allows us to work backwards a little bit, and then we're going to end up right at the entrance here for the most part. So again, that's why I feel like it's a fairly reasonable path to take. Let's go up here. I think we're actually going to be coming through here again later. Up, and up, and out. What a treat. Okay, so we're actually going to go all the way to the bottom. Again, normally there'd be Metroids in here if we let them out earlier, but no reason to do that. Let me just double check. Okay, yes, I have scanned the mega turrets. Okay, so you might remember this guy. It's Bendezium, so we gotta power bomb it to let him out. He's very upset. Make sure to scan him. He is a unique special pirate. He's actually quite easy because he doesn't even have the artillery, so he'll always use attack. So you just hit him with super missiles, he'll die. It's really that easy. You could also use charged plasma. Charged plasma might actually be a little more efficient. I don't actually know. Efficient in terms of time. Got him. All right, that's 11. And then the last artifact is basically on our way towards the final boss. Well, we'll collect it after, but... Let's use the thermal visor, because I think there are shadow pirates here. Just the way that the plasma beam keeps them chain stunned is very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. So we could use the ice spreader. I don't really see much of a point. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. This is another area where, like, we could have pathed through here a lot earlier. But I really feel like it makes sense to do it now after you have the plasma beam, because if you want 100%, we'd have to come back through here with the plasma beam in order to open that door later anyway. Okay, let's give the ice spreader a shot. Now, that was not ideal. If we would have hit both of them, that would have been sweet, but no dice. There is the room, like, after you go and get the power bombs and save, then, like, 4 of them spawn in one room. That's a perfect spot for the ice spreader. The ice spreader also is very good against the last boss. I love it. I love it. It's great. See, I don't even have to be locked on. I'm not even locked on. It just homes in on stuff. And, like, sure, it uses a ton of missiles, but, like, hell, it's just so fun. Cool. So there's our plasma beam missile combo. Okay, so we've cleaned up Phase-In Mines pretty much entirely. These stupid things. There's one more item right here in this room after we kill these shadow pirates. Yes, give me those missiles. I've used many missiles. Okay. So now there's really nothing left to do except progress and basically finish the game. Every other upgrade is going to be along the way. There's like 2 things to pick up in Talon Overworld, which we will get on our way back to our ship before fighting the final boss, and that's going to be after we finish the Phase-In Mines boss, which we're going to do next time. We're going to make our way to him next time. So the question is, from here, what's the best way to get back down to the 2nd level and 3rd levels of Phase-In Mines? All right, well, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.